We've started the process, and listen, a Black donor with good health is hard to find.
It's hard to
find. Oh my goodness.
That look like something. It's hard to find.
That look like something. Major key.
Or they have at least 5'9". Like
seriously, because that's the criteria.
Wow. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm so happy you came by. The Queerly Blax Show aims to normalize the everyday existence of Black LGBTQIA+ individuals through an interview-style series with regular folks like you and me. So every week, a new guest shares their story and unique perspective on their existence as an LGBTQIA+ individual. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe, download, set your reminders to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. We are here with an extremely special guest, some OGs to the LGBTQIA space. So we gonna get into it. We got Call Us the Paces, Jessica, Sam with us. Y'all go ahead and tell the people who y'all are.
Man, like she said, we are Call Us the Paces. This is Sam, my lovely wife, and I'm Jessica. I don't know. We are Call Us the Paces.
Yeah,
in a nutshell,
like a true OG. So since y'all are both here together, we'll start with, how long you guys have been together, kind of how you guys started your platform, and then we'll kind of go into your independent journeys.
You got it. Go for it.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we have been together a little over like 9 years in total now. So crazy to say that.
It's crazy.
We met back in 2009 actually, but we weren't dating back then. We were just
cordial
because we weren't. I ain't even gonna say friends.
We weren't. We weren't.
Let it be known we didn't even really care for each other, to be honest. But yeah, we known each other since 2009. Started dating in 2012, 2013.
Started dating. I proposed in 2015. Got married in 2016, and that's when we started our YouTube channel. Literally our wedding video was the first video we ever put out. It got so much traction. It got some hate, but it got so much love at the same time too. And I feel like we wanted to get on the platform, YouTube, number one, just because we wanted to show this is normal as well. It's not just normal for us, but there are so many other people out there that need to see their representation and say this is okay for me to be who I am and love who I am and be proud about it, to tell the word about it. So yeah, we started our YouTube journey then, started going through the process of trying to have a little one, and baby, was it rough?
Oh man, that was rough.
Yeah, it was hard.
Gonna get into that for sure.
Ooh, yeah, but yeah, that's how we started social media. Literally, as soon as we got married, we were like, "I love you so much, we got to tell the world about it."
Yeah, that's how it starts for sure. And no, I definitely, if y'all want to learn more about them, see more of their videos, they are Call Us the Paces on pretty much every platform, right? Y'all are Call Us the Paces. You have YouTube, IG, everywhere. Super transparent. I think you guys have a great balance of showing the real and then showing keeping things private, because I think there are some things that you just ain't your business, quite frankly, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I think as it relates to being Black, being queer, you guys are very transparent about those things and kind of the navigating what comes with that. So we'll start with you, Sam. Let's go back to the beginning and talk about the first, your first encounter with your sexuality. So when was the first time you kind of knew I might like girls?
Spicy.
We getting right to it, okay? I know y'all got a toddler, y'all got to go. So we gonna get in here, get it done. All right.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is I haven't talked about this in so long, but I remember I was in the 7th grade, and I would always be I would always look at girls, I'd be like, oh, she's so pretty, and I'm want to be a friend. But then I didn't know what it really was. Nobody that I was around was gay, so I didn't know until this one girl in 7th grade. She was like, I'm bisexual. I was like, what? You bisexual? What's that?
What's that?
She was like, I like girls and boys. I was like, huh? like you do.
That's a
and
thing.
So that was like confirmation for me. I was like, oh my goodness, like there's really somebody else out there that likes their, the same sex or whatever. So that was 7th grade. 8th grade, I had my first little girlfriend. And like, it's so crazy because y'all, I was like legit living a whole double life, like all throughout, like from 8th grade up until college. Like I legit lived a whole double life. I was like,
me.
Up until you. Yeah, I did not come out until she was like, look, if we're gonna be together, you need to tell them because this ain't for play right here.
Secret.
Jessica got the sauce. She was like, yo,
secret, okay?
And
I ain't in nobody's closet.
Hello.
Yeah, because I was like my friend and all this other stuff.
Friend. Okay, friend.
This my best friend.
Yeah. Know, but it was so hard because like my best friends in high school, both of them were gay. And one of them was a bit more masculine, and I would just hear the things that my parents would say. It wasn't nothing bad, but it was always, it's a phase, but at the same time it was kind of supporting, and I just didn't know how they would take it from me. And so I was kind of like, I just didn't say anything until she literally was like, look, you got to say something. And I told my mom, I got on the phone, I said, Mom, I think I like girls and I might have a girlfriend. And she
Which means, Mom, I like girls and I have a girlfriend.
And I have a girlfriend.
Yeah. And she just got so quiet on the phone. And I mean, it was awkward for a period because she went through this whole stage of like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? Is it because you play basketball? Oh, that was, how that goes. So
yes, indeed.
Went down her whole like
rabbit hole
talking to family and stuff like that. And, it just became a point in time where they just got to see our relationship and our love, and they just accepted me, they accept her. And, it's like, dang, I should have been did this.
Right.
It took so long,
Yeah. Right. I figure it out. What about you, Jess?
Let me tell you something. So I'm like,
it's a little different.
It's different because I like grew up deep in the church, like choir, singing every Sunday, Wednesday, choir rehearsal, like all of that, So for me, I don't think I really like had a realization until high school, like my senior year of high school. Now I peeped, like I wouldn't like look, but I would feel a way, like I don't know if it was like a protective thing, but I could tell it was different with how I moved. But then I had a friend, and it was my best friend, and I don't know, I just felt, I like literally like go in the bathroom sometimes to be like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, why do I feel this way towards like her? Like, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so in my head that that's not okay, that I couldn't really like comprehend what was going on. So the coming out thing, Lord have mercy, I didn't really get to come out. My parents kind of like peeped the relationship between myself and my best friend, who at the time truly was my best friend. We hadn't done anything, voiced anything or anything like that. They pushed me out. They was like, well, y'all weren't the same type of friends as your friend over here. So, and it just pulled me out. I never got to say, hey, I'm a lesbian. I didn't get to say that. So, but I mean, I was pulled out and I ain't never gone back in,
Yeah, hey, once you out, since we out here, let's just get it done, right? So your best friend, you guys weren't intimate at all. Like you weren't.
The most we would do is like, sit beside each other, like lay your head, like we watch a movie, like lay on each other type of thing. But like, it was never like we kissing, like it was never none of that. But
you were slick committed without unknowingly being committed.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't know like what was going on. My friend had encounters with females before. I never did. So like, I don't know. I just was.
She was waiting on you. She was like, look, I know.
Right. She like, I'm just that friend zone. She was like, I'm gonna just lay over here in the cut till she, I already know. But I'm just waiting on her.
Exactly. I wish I would have walked away, but we
all got those relationships.
Look, everybody served their purpose. So if she wasn't for nothing but to help you, come out, that's all we gonna get from that.
That's it.
Yeah. So y'all got together in college, right? And so y'all didn't like each other. Y'all were on the same basketball team.
Yep.
What was the what was that story
Detroit.
right there?
She's from Detroit.
I'm just from Detroit.
And she had that northern attitude, like, I'm gonna look at you like,
I'm from Jersey, so
y'all got that.
I get it. I get it.
No, I wasn't used to like the whole like Southern hospitality, people just being like genuinely nice and sweet. You know, you from up north, and it's always like, I hate to say you watching your back, but it's always like, you know, you kind of tough on the exterior a little bit. So
she was tough, and I wasn't for it. I was like, girl, I don't have to talk to you. Like, we don't have to be friends, you know. Like,
where are you from?
I'm from Tennessee, Nashville.
Oh, okay, you from Nashville?
Yeah, I'm from Nashville. So, you know, I'm, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, I wanna, what's up? But
we be like, what you
we ended up bonding off our messed up relationships. Like,
we did bond off of that.
We would always be like, why are we with these terrible people that treat us like crap? Like,
literally, like drunk nights in college, we'll be sitting on the couch, like drinking, like, oh, you still doing that? Oh, why you still putting up with that? I don't know. Why you still putting up with that? Like, it was a bond literally off of that mess.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we still didn't get together at that point, though.
Still didn't get together at that point. It wasn't nothing. Like, literally,
it took 3 years.
It took 3 years. Yeah.
For us to even
acknowledge a potential situation.
Yeah.
And so when y'all did at that point, Sam, you were still in the, like, you weren't fully out to your parents, so y'all had this relationship. It was like, yo, we not doing nothing in the closet, we coming out, let's get this done. And so then from there, you guys go on to live your life. Where'd you guys go to school at again?
So the school we met at was UT Martin, and right in the middle of nowhere. And then we both transferred to the school called Cumberland University. It's like 45 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay.
So
at the school, y'all stayed out in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So how is being queer in the South, in Tennessee? I know there's some parts where like you have like your Houston and you have Atlanta. How's Tennessee?
It's ugly.
I feel like Nashville is just like so. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. There really isn't a big community here.
Yeah, there isn't really a community. I feel like when we go out, I don't want to say we get like stares and whatnot, but we aren't like the overly PDA type of couple. So like, I'm sure if we would get a lot of stares and whatnot. But it's not one of those states where you feel like extra safe. I'm like extra, I say paranoid when like she going out, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being aware of your surroundings, because just being Black females, even if we weren't lesbian, you know, it's a safety risk, honestly. You know, you never know what kind of thoughts these people are having. Like, it's not comfortable, if I'm being completely honest. Just me going up here, like, it ain't comfortable for me.
It's so crazy. Like, whenever I go out somewhere and I see somebody that's gay, I'm like, oh my gosh, family. I'm like, hey, hi.
Like that one Black coworker at the office, you'd be like, it'd be the janitor. You don't even care. You'd be like, they treating you all right over there? All right.
No, for real. Like, seriously. That's how it is.
That's kind of crazy. So is there any parts of Tennessee at all that are like Black even?
I mean, Memphis. Well, Tennessee, Memphis is, but Memphis is not safe. You know, listen. I mean, Nashville has like their parts.
They got a couple of gay clubs. You know, they have a pride event every year, but I mean, that's like the only time that you'll actually like just go out and just be, you know, in the atmosphere.
I will say, like, the Black community in Nashville, like over the past couple of years, they're trying to like do more to create that community space and all that stuff like that. So, but we live like 45 minutes outside of the city, so we don't really go there often. But they are trying to do more, which is good.
Yeah.
So then with that, so then your journey to have a baby, right?
Yeah.
And we'll get into it. I know I've watched most of the videos, so I know like some of the challenges, like the hospital situation and just like all of the different things. But when you guys started that process, trying to find like healthcare providers and, all of those things. How was that for you? Like, even in the beginning, like when you're like, okay, we're going to try to have a kid, like who's going to be our healthcare providers? Was like, what were those conversations and how did you guys arrive at the decisions that you initially made?
I remember when we first started, we watched a lot of YouTube, like to try to find similar couples. And we did find one couple on there that was from Nashville. And they actually went to the clinic that we used. And like, I feel like that kind of made us lean more towards that clinic specifically. And we've literally been with them from the jump.
Yeah, because literally it's only 2 options.
There's only two options.
So
yeah.
For infertility, like places, there's only 2 options at all, period.
Yeah. And the one we went to, like, we never.
Did you ever feel away?
I didn't ever feel away. Of course, there's the forms and things like that are like father and mother or husband and wife, those types of things. But like that didn't really make me personally feel away, just because like I know we're in Tennessee and I know that's what comes with it, but we only had 2 choices.
Yeah.
So that was the better of the 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the beginning, did you Jess, did you go through the process of like, so for your daughter, did you have to adopt her or were you able to sign as the secondary parent? Because I know here in California, like we've started like kind of gathering the information for starting our family. So California, I can just be the other parent. I don't have to like adopt, but we were looking through all of that stuff to try to figure out like, okay, like how does this work? Because if God forbid, but we know the healthcare disparities and like things that happen to mothers that don't get the proper care. And it's like, God forbid something were to happen at the birth. Like how am I able to kind of supersede this? So what's that in Tennessee for you?
So I was able to sign the birth certificate as a father.
But I will say we definitely took our marriage certificate with us to the hospital.
We did.
Just in case, there was some issues. No, we got our paperwork
right here. Yeah. And so we are going to go through the second parent adoption process just to be safe, because you never know, like with these laws they're coming up with, like
they change every day.
Florida about them. You can't say stuff about,
don't say gay. I think that's what it's called.
Just to cover myself, us as a unit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's critical that documentation, because I think, because especially when you have families that are not 100% supportive, like if something were to happen to the birth parent, like you wouldn't want the family trying to come in and like, exactly. So like that documentation, while it's not fun, is super critical.
It's necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so donors. I remember you guys talked about the donors. And again, we've started the process, and listen, a Black donor with good health is hard to find.
Oh my goodness. That look like something. It's hard to find.
That look like something. Major key.
Or they have at least 5'9". Like
seriously, because that's the criteria.
Wow. No, you sound like my partner. So we did secure a donor, and it was like, okay, it started out as, okay, he needed to be 6 foot or over. We wanted him to be light skinned because she's brown. Like we kind of look like you guys, like she's a little bit more brown than me. So she's like, okay, maybe if you're a little light, if you out with him, then like we ain't got to worry about like people, whatever. So then it was like, okay, good health. Like we wanted him to be African American, not like, some off the diaspora trying to get an African American. It was like this laundry list of things. Then you find a donor that looks good. Okay, but he got sickle cell trait. Okay, can't do that.
Honey, look.
Then you find another one, and he got spina bifida. And
bifida. Yes, it's so many things.
Talk about y'all's process of trying to find a donor.
It was hard.
It was hard. We actually had 3 donors in total.
Yeah,
and
we had the criteria for the height.
Yeah. The health was definitely most important. So like that canceled out a lot of people. I mean, we would find one person and then we're like, oh, let's look at their health history. Oh, may have blindness, maybe born without eyes. Like, what?
Like some of those genetic mutations were like scary.
It was real scary. It was real scary. But like luckily for like when we did our IVF cycle, we was like, look, we are gonna take our time. We're gonna look through every bank, and we're just gonna like we gotta look. And it was a new donor, and
he was new.
He met all the boxes: perfect health, height, African American, like educated,
family health was clear, like everything was.
And even had a bonus. Remember, we was like, man, if we could find somebody that got like people that can sing in their family, because she sings, and so like we found somebody. He got singers in the family. It was like, oh my God, like you are perfect. Where did you come from? So yeah.
Sorry, that's our dog snoring. No, you've heard that.
No worries. Okay, so you have your beautiful daughter, Palmer, who is the star, who has officially taken over all of your social media. She is the star.
Yes.
And is a star. But it was a journey to get to Palmer.
It was.
So let's go back to the beginning of that process and going into it. You guys can talk about just, you started with IUI and just kind of work through to when Palmer was born.
Okay. 2017.
Man,
2017.
Yeah, what 2017?
It was 2017.
Yeah, that year was rough. I think we did 3 IUIs that year.
So we started with you.
Oh yeah, started with me. Did 3 IUIs that year. They all failed. We were like, look, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna
mentally
regroup, get it back together. I think the next year we did 3 more.
Yeah. And we started out, we weren't telling anybody what was going on, because like, we wanted to pop out, surprise everybody. Oh, we're pregnant, but like it kept going on, and we like, what's up?
It is so hard. That two-week wait gets longer and longer every time you try, and it was rough. I had 6 failed IUIs, and at that point I was like, look, I am done. I'm not doing this no more. Like, it's taxing. It was rough, and
it was hard for me, like, to see her go through it, because like there's nothing I can do to help, to change it, like none of that. And then like there was nothing like test wise wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like she was fine. So like I can't like say like, oh, you can do this, like there was nothing I could do. So like I was trying to like encourage her, like, babe, it's okay. It's just not our time. It's not your body. Your body's fine. Like, that was hard to like see her really like struggle with that mentally. And then to actually like start it myself, I was like, I didn't want her to feel like I'm trying to take over or something. Like it was hard. So I went through 4 cycles of IUI and failed. All of them failed. Now these 10 cycles happened over the course of 3 years.
Were these all with how many donors when you guys were like, IUI?
When I had my 6, it was 2 donors, because it was like, look.
Yeah, she did. It was 2 donors, and I used the second one. I used the second donor. We did 2 cycles with the first donor, and then the rest were with the same one.
Okay.
And then the last, so after my final cycle of IUI, fertility benefit through my job kicked in, which provided coverage for IVF and whatever we wanted to do.
Medication,
everything. So like literally during
Praise God for good healthcare. Woo! Let me tell you, honey.
Hello, because it's not just equally available out here. So we're thankful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that benefit kicked in, and like literally during the 2-week wait, I made the appointment. Like we made the appointment to start a consultation for IVF.
As soon as her benefits kicked in.
Like the day after.
Yeah. I think it was like
while it's available.
No,
in case they decide to come scoop it up.
Seriously though, you never know.
Yeah.
And so we did the IVF. We started our IVF process.
What year was that?
2019. It was 19.
Yeah. 2019.
Started. It was November 2018. Yeah, look on this meshing.
Okay, look, we had her in 2020.
November of 2019, we did the consultation. Remember?
Okay, yeah. So we got started at the beginning of 2020 before the pandemic because we thought we weren't going to be able to do the transfer because it was like right when they was possibly about to shut down all like medically necessary like
non-emergency care.
Like, yeah. And so we were like, oh my God.
It was March the 30th.
Yeah.
We did an egg retrieval on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
that's so sweet.
That was super cute. And then we did the transfer on March the 30th.
Yep. On March 30th when we had her.
March the 30th.
November 30th of 2020.
Yeah.
And we were just like, I remember taking that pregnancy test and we took it early. We should have waited. And like, I was so impatient. I just looked at it. And of course it was early. I don't know why I was expecting it to be like a strong kind of pump. And I'm like,
it was faint. It was like invisible. You had to like, I was literally like tilting it in the light because she thought it was over with. I was like,
I threw it and I walked out the room. I was like, I'm
done.
Oh man.
Oh my God, it didn't work. And I'm like, no, it's the light right there, baby.
I'm like, no, you're looking too hard. There ain't nothing there.
It was there. It was there. And now she's here.
What day was that?
April the 5th? Yeah, I think it was like April 5th.
Like how many days after your day 5? Oh yeah.
We was just how we do that.
I was like, girl.
How long are you supposed to wait for IVF? 2 weeks, 10
days?
10 days. Okay. Halfway, just a little mid check-in. Just like, let's just see what's going on.
I'm pregnant.
Right now. Let's go. Yeah. So man, that's beautiful. So the cost, because 10 IUIs.
Oh, that was ugly. That was ugly. Ugly.
All I gotta say is by the time we got finished with IUI, we should have just did IVF from the beginning.
We could have
paid with all the money that we spent, all the sperm we bought, paying for storage, all the appointments, the procedures, the medications. Like
it was roughly like what, $1,500 per cycle?
Yeah.
Roughly $1,500 per cycle. And that's before insurance was kicking in.
Yeah. So $1,500 for the cycle, but then how much like for the sperm is like
sperm was like
about 1,000 most of the time for a good bank.
Yeah. For the sperm and the shipping of the sperm, which is extremely expensive. And the storage of the extra vials that you buy because you're like, oh, it works. We're gonna
gotta
have
make
more
sure
kids.
He don't run out.
Like Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so we probably spent like what, at least
$20K, if not more.
Yeah, I'd say like around $20K over the course of 3 years. That is insane.
That's ridiculous.
What anything for your babies.
That's right.
Anything, seriously.
That's right.
Anything for your babies,
because it's worth it now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, because when I see people who have like known donors and they kind of like they figure out how to, I'll be like, listen, you gotta understand how much this costs, okay?
Yeah, for real.
So however you gotta make it happen. You got to make it happen.
Gotta do it. Yeah.
So I love it. Man, that's awesome. And so then IVF roughly is like how much? Because I mean, obviously you guys had the insurance, but like roughly how much is IVF? Just for perspective, like IUI, less invasive, less more natural, as they say. Yeah. But the percentage rate is lower than IVF. Yeah. But in perspective, IUI is like a couple $1,000s. IVF's like how much a cycle?
I just calculated, and I think our cycle, everything was like close to 28,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. 28K. One cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. For perspective for people.
Yeah, it's like
we got a one bill in the mail. Just what
that was for the retrieval.
And the retrieval was like
18K.
18K.
Yeah. Just for the retrieval. Yeah.
The balance due said 0. I about cried.
Praise the Lord for health insurance.
He's able.
For IVF, you go through, is it one retrieval that you do? And then you do implantation, like you could do implantation multiple times depending on how your cycles go, but you just do one retrieval?
So the goal is to do one retrieval because you pretty much are injecting yourself with those meds to try to get as many eggs as possible as you can. So I think I got like 32.
She was an egg queen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had a lot of eggs. I got 32 and that was really good. And
so they retrieve the 32 eggs and then they fertilize it with the sperm, and they go through like a 5-day period of fertilization to see which ones make it, you know, into embryos. And so she had, I think you had 12 total make it to the final stage, and then we sent them off for testing to see if they were chromosomally, because it was like
too many. It was, I mean, 12 embryos.
Well, I mean, we wanted to get them tested.
Yeah.
So to see if they were like chromosomally sound,
normal,
and six were regular, so 50-50 split. And so those are stored, and then we do the transfer, and then, you know, hopefully you only have to do one. It worked, so we only had to do that one, you know. So
nice. That's dope. So those other ones, if at any point you guys want to have more kids, you can use those and have more kids with 6 kids. Okay. 6 pace babies.
We were literally just talking about this other day. Baby, like,
what do we gotta do?
We got 5 kids in the freezer right now. Like
5 kids.
Yeah. And
they
then
just waiting on us.
And then I want to do a retrieval too. So
I'm
going to do a retrieval. So that's gonna be more. There we go. So that's a thought too. Like, what do we do with the embryos we choose not to use? Like,
I think that's one of like the toughest like after parts of it. It's like, dang, like I got a lot of embryos, but what we gonna do with the rest of them? You know?
Yeah.
You can donate them if you want.
I was gonna say, what do people do with them? They donate them, like, and to people who like women who can't have like who don't have eggs and things like that.
They do embryo adoption.
You can donate them to science if you want to.
If you wanted to, like, it's a number of different little avenues that you can use, so they're not just like sitting there, I guess. Wasted.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So to go back a little bit, talk about, like, so 3 years, right, of going through the process. What kind of toll does that take on your relationship?
You know what? I feel like
make you stronger, kind of like, what, you know, the emotional journey of that. Like, how did that translate for you guys as you guys were going through that?
I feel like it, I'll speak for myself. I feel like it made us stronger because somebody's waking up, but because we literally like didn't have anybody in it with us, you know what I'm saying? It was just us like going through it and not really sharing that with anybody. And then when we finally did, like, they don't really understand it. You know, our family, they don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have people like say like, oh, I wish I could carry for you. You know, like people who are in like a heterosexual relationship and have had kids before, like, we don't need that, you know? But like, we could just lean on each other, you know, because we are literally going through this together. We want the same thing. I don't know. For me, it strengthened us. How did you feel, babe?
Yeah, I definitely, you know, think the same thing. It was good. I will say, of course, the toughest transition was that part where it was like I had finally given up, and it was like there was joy on the other side of like, yes, like, you know, we will still have a baby. I do hope my wife is pregnant, but it's that little thought in the back of your head, like, dang, like if she got pregnant, why couldn't I get pregnant?
Yeah,
you know,
that was scary for me too.
Like, but I was, of course, I was rooting for you.
I know you were, but at the back of my head, I'm like, is she gonna feel like, I don't know,
not a way towards you, a way towards me.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, like, I didn't want you to like have doubt in yourself, because it did work for me. So that was always like, that was in the back of my head too. So yeah.
But it was definitely like strengthening more than anything, because we had to talk to each other, and
we were always considerate of each other throughout the process. Like, even if it was one of us going through it, like we always made sure to always check in.
Yeah, I didn't feel by myself.
I didn't feel alone either.
That's awesome. So Sam, what advice do you have to partners who are not carrying? Both of you guys really can answer this question, because you have the unique perspective that you both have tried to conceive. So what advice do you have for the supporting spouse? And then supporting spouse, Jess, what advice do you have from that perspective?
I mean, just be there, you know, like just be present, you know. I know it's it's crazy because it's like, I know you're not carrying this child. I know this child is not biologically yours, but you being present and, you know, just being involved, it just makes everything just like seamless. It doesn't, you know, nothing is a bother or nothing like that. I don't know, just being present, really.
Yeah. For me, I would say just like she said, be present. But also never forget your mental space. Like, don't neglect how you're feeling. Like, be open with your partner about how you're feeling with things, because at the end of the day, they need you to be open and receptive to what, you know, is going on. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it works very well. Our communication
I know it wasn't really,
just be there, be transparent, and I don't know, be excited. Like, don't hold anything back.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure your partner is going through a lot, you know. But also, like I said, don't neglect yourself, because it's a lot for you also. So yeah.
What how's your family been with the baby coming out? Were there any people that kind of, you may have had a more distant relationship before you had her, that were more present or wanted to be more present after having her?
I don't think so.
No.
Not
I
for
feel
me.
like, no, I was gonna say, I feel like, no, it's a little different for me because my immediate family is still in Michigan. So if anything, I've talked to my family more since I've had her, which is really good, you know. So yeah, it's been on the plus side for me.
Yeah, I mean, we live by my people, so you know. And on the flip side of that, it's changed my relationship with my mother. Just because, like, the things that I used to let slide, I can't anymore, because I wouldn't do some of those things to my child, you know what I'm saying? So it has changed that relationship for me and my mom. I just hold my parents to a different standard now because I have my own. So
yeah. No, that's it. What about boundaries? Have you had to talk about different boundaries with your family, and then also in terms of raising your daughter, right? You guys, we all grow up different and have like those hypothetical conversations about like how you'd raise your child, right? Or like you see people on the street and you'd be like, I
never do that.
Has any of those Sam, I caught that look. Have any of those things changed for you guys since you had her?
What you think?
I think I feel like some have, like I feel like, for one, the pandemic just made everything just like magnified, you know, like it was already, we already knew that we wanted to be fully present in her life. And that meant like, oh, you're not just, I don't want to say it like that, but you're not just about to come and pick up my child and have her stay the night. You know, we wanted to just have her with us all the time. We knew that's what we wanted. So the pandemic kind of made that easier, but then it kind of made it hard because, you know, we wanted people to be around, but they necessarily couldn't be around. So that aspect was a little weird. And then, you know, the part about doing things that we didn't think we would do, like, I mean, I had like some crazy things. I'm like, oh, she's not going to play with any toys that light up or whatever. She's only going to have Montessori toys, and homegirl has toys that makes noise all over the place. Like, I mean, some of the things that I said were just like silly.
You never know how you're going to be until you're in it. You know what I'm saying? And then like every child is not the same. So like you can't say you're going to raise your child this way until you have that child, because they might be like Palmer and be very stubborn, you know, and be very vocal about how they feel. So
kids falling out of the store. Oh, my child would never. Here go Palmer. It is okay.
You're gonna learn today, Mom. You're gonna learn today.
Nice. Does she act like you, Sam?
Yes. Yep.
I don't see it.
She look like her, act like her, all of that.
No, she's all a lot. She's homegirl is very determined, and she's a little bit more stubborn. I'm stubborn? What?
No, baby, not at all.
Oh my gosh,
not
whatever.
Not at all.
But she is also the sweetest little girl. Oh my goodness, she is so sweet. She will come if she sees anybody that's sad, she will come give you a hug. She loves pets. She's just the sweetest little girl, but she be sour sometimes too. I call her my little sour patch.
I feel like that's you. She's like you. You can be so nice. People think you mean. A lot of people think she's mean when they first like
you got the resting bee face.
She does. Yeah. She does.
That's how
I think I kind of like that about you. No, but yeah, but like once those layers are peeled, like you're very sweet, very caring, very thoughtful, and I feel like she's like that. You know, she's got to open up. You know?
Yeah, I will say that for sure.
That's awesome. And so Jess, have you had any how's your bond been with Palmer in terms of, you know, I think I know it doesn't matter because I'm technically in your position in terms of our kids, because the biological thing didn't really make a difference for me, but for my wife, she was like, no, like we need to be able to control half these genetics, like we need to know what half this kid is. So I don't have any concerns about like not being biologically related to them, but for you, have you had any challenges, or what was your thought process kind of in the beginning thinking about that part?
I feel like I didn't have any like reservations or like fears about her not being biologically mine. Like my sister's adopted, so like I'm open to all of that, you know. But I was very intentional about creating space for just me and her to connect and bond and whatnot. Just so she can like know, you know, I'm mama at the end of the day, no matter what. She be jealous sometimes because that's my girl, honey. She be hating so hard sometimes.
I be like, I carried you for 9 months. I be gone for like 5 hours. I come back home and I get nothing. She be gone for 10 minutes. She come through the door, Mom.
Yeah.
I be like,
no, but I just was intentional. Just being intentional about like spending time and stuff like that at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah. Are you guys able to still, I know COVID kind of restricts it a little bit, but do you still have time for like your relationship and like the balance of being a new parents, but still kind of maintaining the relationship?
It's hard. We have to be very intentional about making that time. Like we've literally been talking about that a lot lately.
Yes.
Because like we've noticed like we need more one-on-one time, like without having to worry about a baby on the monitor, or like, you know, just time where we can kick it. Like we've literally only had 2 times since she's been born. Our anniversary, we did an overnight and she stayed with my sister. And then this past weekend we stayed, we went out to brunch, with just us.
Yeah.
That's literally been it the whole time. But like we'll try to like do things like upstairs, like as far away from her room as possible, you know, like do little mini dates in home and stuff like that to create that time. But
and it's much more different now, especially like with her being older and she's more active. And you know, when she was younger, she wasn't really doing much, so it was easy for us. Oh, she sleep, let's go chill, let's go watch a show or something, let's spend some time together. But now it's like, man, she wears us out. And we'd be like, oh, we need some time apart. But then again, we need to be together too. So
no, I feel it.
All
right. So you have a clothing brand.
I do.
And a toddler, so I understand.
Oh Lord.
But how'd you get it started? And you also the basketball league. Supporting the basketball league heavy into promoting that and kind of keeping that going. But talk about the clothing brand.
Favor over odds. I think I don't know.
Very good quality t-shirt, by the way.
Yes,
I like this. This is the American Apparel vibe going on.
I'm glad you like it. But that was important to me. But I don't know. I like words, right? But like I know your words have power, and I wanted to create something that, you know, was simple but meant a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like to wear that favor over odds message on your chest. It, you know, I was hoping that it would create a mentality for other people that, you know, no matter what is stacked against me, I'm still favored. I can still succeed. I can still be that. And at the time I was speaking to myself because, like, yes, I'm with the basketball league now, but I was a women's basketball coach. That was my passion. And since I left doing that in 2017, I've been kind of floating and, like, you know, feeling like things were stacked against me. And I'm not able to get back into that space. So when I created that, you know, I just wanted to share a message with people, with the people that are like me, like with the LGBT part of the line that I released, you know. You're blessed no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Just wanting to motivate others in some kind of way.
No, I love it. It's important because your words do have power. And if you're gonna wear Gucci, why not wear favor over odds? Why not, right? That's great. So I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. We reached the end, but before we go, I always ask, what advice do you have to young kids, Black queer kids going through their own journey?
At the end of the day, be you and don't be afraid of what anybody thinks, because it's not your life that you're living for. You're living for your life. So
you're not living for their life.
You're not living for their life. You're living for your life. So just, you know, authentically be you.
Yeah, I would say trust your journey. You will see references from all over on the internet, YouTube, whatever. Nobody's journey is the same. So what it looks like for others, it might not 100% replicate that for you, but just trust that, you know, the path that you're on is truly yours, and nobody can be you better than you at the end of the day. No matter what your mama says, your you know, stuck up cousin or whatever says, like, be you, walk in your purpose, and you'll find happiness at the end of the day.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, we've reached the end. Thank you so much to the Paces for coming on. Y'all can catch them on IG, YouTube, follow their journey, follow their family, subscribe to all of their TikTok dances. Y'all crazy on TikTok too, actually. I see y'all be dancing. And Sam kind of be in the cut like, okay, Jessica.
Like she want me to do another one.
Oh my God.
Like that.
Catch them on all social media. This has been another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. I'll catch y'all on the next one.